Hey, this is Manny with Not Waiting to Live. I'm a former Mercedes-Benz car salesman, and in this video, I'm going to cover the latest, fresh off the press, dealership incentives for the truck makers of America. This is good for the month of May 2020. It's going to be relevant till about June 5, 2020. That's when these incentives are going to expire. But these are the freshest incentives in response to the coronavirus, and I'm hoping with this video you can get a sense of what specific models and trims are being subsidized right now by manufacturers and where it's possible to find the biggest discounts. So today, I see research has shown for the month of April, for the first time ever, truck sales has eclipsed car sales in general. And that's remarkable. And that just demonstrates that this declining economy is not affecting all buyers equally. Truck market is still strong. So a shout out to all the guys out there with dirty hands making clean money, still putting their trucks to good use. I just want to touch very briefly on what a dealership incentive is, and it's really just a subsidy that a dealer gets to move a particular make, model, trim. And this incentive is gonna vary from month to month based on regional supply and demand, local sales goals. I talk about this in all my different car negotiation and vehicle negotiation videos, but you're not really negotiating off of a fixed dealership invoice. You're negotiating off of a fluid, changing dynamic where dealers are getting variable amounts of money at any given point in time. And I just point out how this might work out on a specific truck. I've got an example of Kelly Blue Book value for 2020 F-150 Super Crew Cab Limited, and I know that the incentive right now for that truck is around $3,000. So what you can see is if a fair purchase price is $64,000, what's happening there is dealers are willing to discount the incentive plus a few percentage off a sticker price. When they discount a rebate, the customer's getting the rebate, but the dealer's making all that money back. So if a dealer has a $3,000 incentive and they discount the truck $3,000, you get, as a buyer, get a $3,000 discount. From a dealer's perspective though, they're effectively selling that truck for full sticker price. As a negotiator, you want to push that. If you know that they're getting money refunded, that's why you're going to want to push for more and more of a discount. And that's why you see on an example like this, there's such a range. You see it selling for 67 to 61. That's going to come from dealers being willing to cut into their incentive and their subsidy and push that dollar amount even lower. But just looking at some of the Ford, Chevy models right now, I'm not going to spend too much time on this slide because I will upload these slides to my car blog on notwaitingtolive.com. That way you can look through this more closely. But you see the Silverados and the 1500s, the regular and the double models, they have started to include the special GM financing. So when the pandemic first broke and started to develop, the GM started to offer this special financing. Looks like they're trying to incorporate into more trims, but not all the trims. And that's probably something that will grow as needed. But right now, it doesn't look like you can combine that with the crew configurations and the 2500, 3500 models as well. You'll see in the 25 and the 3500, they are subsidizing diesels more right now. So that just tells me they're not moving diesels. Makes sense. I mean, gas is cheap. It's so cheap. Looking over at any specific models, the incentives that are in a range are based on the very specific trim. There's so many configurations, but there does seem to be a couple specific configurations that stick out. Looks like 1500 Crew Custom 1CX with an L82 configuration. That's a different motor type. That's got an $8,500 incentive on it. And so if you're looking for that specific build, you better be getting a bigger discount than anybody else because they're giving a bigger incentive than any other trim. Not a lot to report on the Chevy Colorados. They do appear to be incorporating the financing deals with the dealer incentives. Doesn't appear to be that same way with the Canyon. Probably a different buyer, different segment. But moving over to the 4, the F Series, you can see how the incentives change across the trim levels, even in different configurations. So they are giving dealers more for those the trucks that have more premium add-ons, and that's just something to be aware of as a buyer. You shouldn't be paying the same price for an XL as an XLT because that dealer is getting that money back. As usual, Ford Raptor, you're not getting anything. That truck sells itself. They just wait for people to come along, and people always seem to buy them. So I wouldn't hold your breath on big deals on the Ford Raptors. Moving on to some of the other brands, Dodge Ram. See a lot of Ram guys commenting on my videos. Looks like for the most part, those incentives are ranging from $2,000 to $3,700. What this means for a lot of the truck segments right now, particularly Ram. I mean, I'm seeing guys get 20, 21, 2, 3, 4% off MSRP. So no matter what you're shopping for right now, I don't think we've seen any deals that have really eclipsed what we would normally see in the fall. So we haven't really gotten to the point yet where we've seen more extreme deals. So if you're starting your offers at 25% off, expect to work your way up. I think most full-size trucks right now are probably going to go certainly above 10%, probably 15 to 20% off MSRP. But again, I've seen guys right now get higher than that, depending on the very specific configuration of their truck. There's so many. The only other trucks I want to talk about here, of the Toyota variety, they're not giving any incentives on the TRD Pros. Those are limited production trims. Those are low supply, but limited incentives otherwise. The Jeep Gladiator, I haven't seen any specific incentives on the Jeep Gladiator outside of regional. So in the Great Lakes region, I saw like $1,750. In the Southwest, I saw $2,000. In the East, in New York City, I didn't see any incentives for any of the models. So it is varying regionally. The Chrysler brand does seem to have employee pricing type incentives that they're working in through all their trims. So definitely talk to them to see what is available. And there's, as always, for all these trims, separate from the vehicles, they'll have specific first responder, military rebates of around $500 each. I've even seen, I think for Chrysler, they have one for National Association of Realtors. If you're buying a Jeep Gladiator, I think there's another $500 thing there. But these are just the incentives that are specific to these trucks. And as always, if you're looking to buy another vehicle, another truck, I cover all things vehicle negotiation on my channel. So let me know what you're looking for right now. If you have any questions, I can certainly reach out and give my 2 cents. But if you want to see me cover more videos like this, whether I'm breaking apart other models that aren't trucks to look at those specific actual dealer incentives, or you'd like to see me cover something else, let me know. I'm here to make more content. I'm ready to make more content. Just want to make sure that it's relevant and valuable and in line with what you all want. So thanks. Have a good one.